Look at my waist, this is unedited. Look at my face, bet you wanna look like me. Look at my wrist, I'm not tryna flex, but look at my whip, better get your check up. In my life, I've never felt sadness. I pose like 9 times on average. I wish I didn't have to lie for you, for me, the mess I was.
What is up, guys? All week, I'm dropping bangers from artists that are actually putting music out. Worth something. If you go listen to that song, her name is Coco Jones. She wrote a song about people actually being depressed, and that's why they're like going ham on IG. They post all their lives, all their business, what they ate for breakfast, when they went to go poop. I peed today. I changed my underwear. Everything. So go check her music out. What's up, guys? Thank you for going live with me. We're going to have fun right now. Are you guys ready? I know Chris is.
I'm just excited to hear Chris at the end. That's all.
Me too, man.
Just everybody else, just hang out until we're all done.
Yo, what is wrong with Russo, bro?
He was on the stair stepper. He was just trying
healthy.
to get that working.
That's very healthy.
Thanks for sharing that. We appreciate it.
Hey, it's all good. We were talking about farts last night.
Oh, Jesus.
What? Wait a minute.
Breaking barriers.
Breaking barriers. Cup of cheese.
What?
We'll show you later.
No thanks.
Oh, my stomach hurts. What?
That's probably because you got to poop.
Yo.
Just saying, Russo started it, wasn't me.
Oh, man. Wow.
Is that how we're starting this off?
It's all right. It's hot, Mike. That's why we call it that. The Supreme Court decided to decline to broaden police authority to search homes.
Yes.
Isn't this going to like encourage more crime since police can't search homes? Specifically, the court ruled that police in Rhode Island went too far when they searched for a gun in the home of a man who had agreed to seek a mental evaluation. So they're not allowed to use their better judgment to say, this guy needs a mental evaluation, so let's check for weapons because it could be a dangerous situation. Chelly, you're the cop here.
Yeah.
So what are cops supposed to do now?
Well, this is in Rhode Island, right? So it's kind of been that way here in Illinois for a long time. Like you need either a warrant or a court order from the judge stating that you have the right to search it, or you need someone in the home to actually sign the consent so that you can search. So that's kind of like for here. I mean, that's nothing new. This is kind of what's going to be happening all over, especially with certain agendas that are being pushed. This is going to be I can't see that it's not in a blue state already, to be honest.
What's your feeling on it? Do you support or disagree with it?
So I disagree. I think that first of all, like we're not just I don't think police officers are just going into a house randomly like, hey, let me just search your shit.
No.
I got nothing better to do today. We're limited on manpower. There's a million jobs sitting in the board waiting, but let me walk into your house and search your shit because I think you have a gun. I think that if you're there for a reason and you maybe have, I think that a certain criteria should be met. You know what I mean? Like, yes, of course, nobody wants their rights violated. You just walk in and search someone's shit. So I think there should be a certain criteria met. I mean, there's a certain criteria now. If I want to stop and frisk someone, there's no more stop and frisk here.
Yep.
There has to be a certain criteria. I have to check all the boxes.
Okay.
So I think that if you check those boxes, you should be able to search.
Chris, what do you think? And then I'll go.
I'm kind of with Shelly. Like, I know there's a lot of places that have the same rules or follow the same standard. You know, if you check, like she said, if you check the boxes, then you should be able to go ahead and to do your search. I will say though that I know I would think in some circumstances, and I'm specifically talking here in California, I feel like though sometimes they might have jumped the gun, and maybe need to put a little bit more into it. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got right now. So I'll go ahead and pass it up to you.
So here's my thing, and I'm going to take a slightly different approach here. Our Fourth Amendment right requires a warrant for search and seizure. This, by them declining it, supports our Fourth Amendment right. You would have to have a warrant to be able to come into my house and search a home, period. I'm not thinking our house is going to just be going through and people are just going to walk through my house and to be able to come in and search my home. I don't think a cop is going to do that, no. But if the Supreme Court doesn't decline this, it actually makes that to where a state could make a case for it. And so in this scenario, this is a very legit turn down and decline in way it should be done, because it needs to make sure that we stick to our amendments and our Constitution, that you have to have a warrant to search my house or anything that is locked. And that is where I'm 100% on board with this. I don't think cops go and search people's houses willy-nilly, not at all. But I do want them to go through the due process to ensure that they have lawful reason to do so. That's it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Sonia. I want to question something.
Sure.
So if someone calls or the police are chasing somebody with a gun and they run into a house and the owner opens that door, you're saying that we should stop what we're doing, go get a warrant from a judge, which they're probably not open in the middle of the night, to search for that gun.
For a gun?
Yeah.
Is that what
I'm giving you a scenario.
So
because you said that you think that this is, and I don't think it's completely wrong. I just want to make sure that I understand that I don't think it's completely wrong. But in that same situation, according to what you're saying, if I am chasing someone who is with a gun or who committed some sort of crime with a weapon, and he runs into a home, whoever is in that home lets us in that home, we find him. Now, in order to search for that gun, according to this, I would need to wait to go to court to get a warrant to search that area to get a gun.
Yes, and here's why. We are given our Second Amendment right, our right to bear arms, because of fear of tyranny from our government, correct? So if we were to ever say, because we have never as a United States or any state established what mental health actually means and what mental health actually is. So you could technically, if you got a liberal doctor, he could say you are not mentally stable and call to have your gun rights taken away from you. And so I'm not for this. And the only reason for it, and you got to remember, regular police officers are not generally going, if they board themselves up and they are locked up in their house, they're calling SWAT, they're calling sometimes National Guard, they're calling people that are all armored up and ready to go throw in tear gas and blow through that home, right? And arrest that person. It's not generally the basic police force. I do not want the police to have the authority just to barge into your home and go through and take your guns because of a claim of mental illness. I do not, because you can then say, because I disagree in today's political climate, I'm mentally ill. And I do not want that right taken away from me.
Okay,
And so I want to treat it equally.
okay, but are we talking about mental illness, or are we just talking about the rule in general?
Well,
Because
this says
mental illness
search-
is something totally different.
This says when they search for a gun in the home of a man who had to seek a mental health evaluation.
Okay, okay. I thought it was just in general.
Well, and even in general, I'm not for it. I want you to go through due process, because hell, surround the house for 12 hours with 5 officers and sit in cars, and then nothing's going to happen. Get a warrant signed, and then go drive a truck through the home. I don't care. If you got a warrant signed, you have due process. You did it. You have diligence and you have paperwork to prove it. And so that's fine. But overall, in this one with mental health evaluation, I'm 100%, I do not like it. I hate it when we say it, because our country has not established a mental health level that we need to be at. That's even for people. But I also don't like the fact of having an officer without a warrant to be able to search my home. I don't want to do that either, because that does violate my Fourth Amendment right.
That's crazy, because Russo or Be the Change just said, I wrote that down. I think what we're talking about are a little two different things. And one is like situational based, going into a house, or getting a warrant. And then Casey, you got the mental illness, you're talking from that. And I think we kind of covered this, I think we mentioned this yesterday, where we were talking about kids, mental illness, where I personally think that where the US is going is that it's easy for them to claim mental illness and to throw that out there. And I dislike how they're doing it. So it's the way that they're it's the propaganda. It's the slow conditioning of or gaslighting of the American people. They will take, the dozen school shootings, and they will tell you that they're all white and that nothing happens to them because of mental illness. And we got to take away guns from the mentally ill. And they keep driving this agenda to where now you're seeing something like what you're talking about is, hey, if somebody says, this guy's mentally ill, or my cousin or my brother, you should go into their house and take their guns. That is wrong. So if that's what you're if that's what you're standing on, Casey, if I'm following right, I'm with you. On Shelly's end, if we're talking about somebody just shot somebody and ran into a house, hey,
that's probable cause.
That's a little different.
But still, even if you have probable cause to go into the house to chase them, you still doesn't give you probable cause to search the residence. It's two different things.
Huh.
So that's kind of what my point. I didn't realize that this specific article was about mental.
Oh,
she froze.
But
But she's saying mental illness, and I agree.
Can you guys see me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I thought it kicked me out again.
At the end of the day,
I think we're having two different conversations.
No, it's two different things, kind of like, because I mentioned two different things, but this specific article is mental illness, and that's a sensitive topic with me, because if you are going to put that is in the hands of a doctor to determine if someone is mental ill. Their political opinion will actually decide how they make that decision, and I don't like that. I really don't. And there needs to be somehow we make a decision there. I don't know how we do it. If you have to have 2 out of 3 doctors decide that, or what, I don't know.
At the end of the day, though, we're literally fighting technicalities on these things.
Sure.
Because our government is now in a place to manipulate. Okay, well, you can't go in there for mental illness. Well, if this person says they agree to it, now the cops have to wait and stand back for ridiculous stuff. Like, I'm just kind of looking at it at a broad view. Like, yes, this is a win for 2A. Nobody should be able to come in and seize your guns. But this is also a loss for police officers, because now they can't effectively do their job in this particular place where, oh, you're a mental evaluation patient. Oh, you got a weapon in there. Oh, you want to go off yourself? You can't even go in and do your job now. So
Well,
now
if they want to off themselves, they're just saving us tax money. Let them do it.
That's the point. Is the cops can't do their job. even if it's a person offing themselves, if it's a person that's in a hostage situation, whatever it is, like she mentioned, somebody running into a residence, and it's got mental health attached to it, that kind of removes cops' rights to use their better judgment, like common sense, because we have more good cops than bad. This, in my opinion, yes, it's a W for 2A, but it's also an overreach when it comes to cops being able to do their jobs. So I'm just looking at it, just the bigger, it's PC politics is what this is.
I can agree with you there. I do. I'm trying to think, how many scenarios do we have of people running into houses that they do not belong to or are endangering somebody else other than themselves and locking themselves in a house after committing a crime?
Well,
it's probably a low percentage.
It happens here all day, every day.
In Chicago, they run into someone's random house, and
I never used the term when I initially spoke, and I never said random. But the bottom line is, if they are not on that lease, they can reside there. It could be my son. My son could commit a crime, run into my house. So he just commits a crime. He tosses a gun somewhere. And now, first of all, I'm a law-abiding citizen. If you're a law-abiding citizen, I'm going to be like, hey, search. I don't care. Because I'm a law-abiding citizen. The only people those laws particularly protect are criminals.
No, I agree with you. I understand what you're saying. I'm trying to figure out, because I honestly think if they came around and said in this, police officers have the right to come into a household, I think that's more dangerous. And the reason for that is, if you are in a corrupt city, let's say Gavin Newsom, him being a governor, and someone didn't want to deal with police, and they go and lock their house, but they didn't really break any laws. For example, getting out of a COVID situation, and they just went into their house and they were outside on the street without a mask or something, and they ran inside. You are now justifying a police department to go into that household and search the house for any weapons.
Why would any police officer, I think we're playing kind of semantics now.
No, we are.
Why would any police officer go into just some random's house because they didn't have a freaking mask?
No.
That makes no sense. That's why in the beginning I said there should be certain things that we have to check off, right? In order for me to stop and search someone, there has to be a certain criteria. He's in a high drug and gang area. He's a known gang member. He's known to carry a weapon. Someone's calling on him. So I have to check my ABCs. I have to get the probable cause why I want to stop him. And I have to articulate why I felt the need to stop this person. So what I'm saying, in certain instances, if we're dealing with a mental case, first of all, I can tell you right now, if I'm going in there and that person is a threat to themselves and themselves alone, I'm not going in. Because he is only a threat to themselves. He is not a threat to me or anyone else in society. So then they will call the hostage team and do all those things, okay? Right. Because we are not trying to stop a crime. But I was talking about it, like, again, originally, I didn't realize that it was in regards to a mental case. Because I agree with you that I don't think that the police should just be able to go into someone's house and search their shit all free and willy-nilly. I don't agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
No,
but what I'm saying is, like, when they make laws and they create very vague rules, or they state something similar to what this states, like in Rhode Island, I think that it can pose a problem, and the person that it poses the problem for are the police.
Hey, can we agree? Can we all agree on this? That majority of the laws that are made, or that we're seeing come up with right now, they're either made to help the criminal or help those that are doing something illegal, like crossing the border or something like that, right? Or they're putting them in place to help politicians gain power. Majority, not all of them, but a majority of what we're seeing being pushed. I think if that's something we could agree on, then it shows. I mean, It's showing us
can't.
where the thought is of our nation right now, or the
Yes.
politicians.
Yeah,
We
that's why I
can.
said we're fighting technicalities. We're fighting PC politics. We're fighting PC culture, and it's dangerous.
It is very dangerous. But the point that I'm making is I don't want to give an inch to my government because they take a mile every time. And that is why. Is if I give them an inch in a certain, and that's BS. I'm not even going to acknowledge that.
I'm
But-
actually going to acknowledge that.
Yeah, we have to. Go ahead, Charlie.
Go ahead.
Casey.
So Breonna Taylor, which was a tragic death. Anytime anyone is killed, it is tragic.
Mhm.
I don't care who they were killed by. First, let me say that because I know we need a disclaimer, especially after that comment. Breonna Taylor was killed because on a no-knock warrant in which they knocked anyway. Okay, there is witnesses who heard them knock and announce their office. They didn't have to do it because they had a search warrant that said otherwise. As soon as they got in the apartment in the hallway, because it happened in a hall, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend fired shots at the police. In return, the police fired shots back. Sorry, returned fire from where the shots were coming from. Unfortunately, Breonna Taylor was caught in the crossfire. She was not in her bed. That is media BS. Sorry, I'm going to try not to swear so anything. It is
all good.
media. It is media BS.
It
She was
is.
in the hallway. Her boyfriend put her life in danger. Period.
Well, and
Okay?
her boyfriend is a bitch for putting her in between them.
Correct. And also, there's a video of him right after he was arrested stating that it was her who shot.
Yep, he
So
blamed
you
her.
should probably look that up before you just believe regular media.
Yeah, man. But like I said, it's a slippery slope here because yes, it gives us our rights as people, but then it takes some power away from cops. Like there's trade-offs here. There honestly is, and there is no such thing as a solution to a problem. We have trade-offs.
Let me propose one question, and then we can move on to another topic. Okay, which is the safer for both parties?
No,
No.
no, just I'm playing. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay. No, but I'm serious. If the decision is declining the opportunity to search a house of someone else, it is safer for both parties, right?
What, to not search?
Yeah,
Leaving who unsafe? The public?
both. They're just locked in a house.
Well, this is the thing, right? So yeah, to an extent that might be true. The person who's searching, who's locked in the house, and the police are safe. But now do you leave the public, who the police are sworn and took an oath to serve and protect, at risk of something happening, which is happening every day in our society? Look at Chicago. We had 52 people shot this weekend.
Yeah.
So when you take that type of approach where, okay, well, it's good for the bad guy and it's good for the police. Well, guess what? It's not good for society as a whole.
Can you answer this one, Jelly, and we'll move on? Someone said, I don't think so. Officers can very quickly call a judge, get a warrant, and proceed. In my opinion, judges get these calls 24/7, knowing it's a part of the job. Is
Brandy,
that necessarily true?
that is not true. And I have
Thank you.
It's true
several,
here in Utah. I will
because
tell
you know
this.
why? Because Utah is a red state.
Yep. And so that tells you it varies by state.
But let me ask you this. Is crime as high as it is in red states as it is in blue states?
It's growing.
That's not what I asked you.
I know. I'm saying it's growing.
Is it as dangerous in the red states as it is in blue states?
Well, we know the answer to that is no. But
All right,
we
then.
also know
Well,
that it's growing
what-
because we are taking away rights from people to be able to control it.
Okay, but legal gun owners are not out here killing people.
Yes, they
Legal.
are. If someone entered my house
Show me
unlawfully, they're
show me
dead.
the number. Show me the numbers of legal gun owners killing people at the same rate as unlegal gun
I'm
owners.
not. You did not say at the same rate. You said legal gun owners killing people. Legal gun
It's
owners
not
do
a
kill
problem,
people.
Casey, and you know that. It's
I
not a
think
problem.
I think we're off topic, and that would be funny if they had like a 1-800 number, just like directly to a 24/7 judge who's up all day and all night, that's ready to serve you a search warrant.
And
You can call for it in many states.
yeah,
In many states,
you know,
you can call and get a search warrant at any hour.
Hey, there's
and I'm
and I
telling
agree with
you that it is not true.
there's
Maybe in
It's not
Utah,
true in
in
your
some
state.
maybe in some little ass town,
So how
and
many
you got a
states-
sheriff. That's true. I'm
So
telling you, in a city like Chicago, in the state of Illinois itself, even the outer parts of Illinois are Republican. Actually, they're all red. The only reason Illinois is blue is because of Chicago and its 8 million population.
So
we cannot get a warrant in the middle of the night. It does not happen. We still don't even have full courtrooms. Everything is via Zoom still.
So a business plan for us, we need to do something like where we can like set up a nationwide hotline number for warrants. That's what I'm hearing. We need to capitalize on this moment.
No. You never want to put that in the federal state's control. It needs to be in the state's control.
No, I'm just joking.
But here's
trying to keep
the
it light.
thing. I understand what you're saying, Chelly. I get it. And yes, you are in a city and a state that's very different. But if you were to pull up the map and you were to look at most of the states that are red, and when you said you are in a red state, most states, and we don't need to mislead people, most states in red will have those options. It will happen.
Okay, well,
The country, the Supreme Court for the entire country does not need to change because Illinois is different.
okay, but what I'm saying is it doesn't matter what the Supreme Court says when stuff goes down to a local level. You know that.
If it gets escalated through the proper process, yes, it does.
It doesn't get escalated through the proper process. Do you think that Chicago has been in shit forever, or Illinois has been in shit forever because they're listening and following the Supreme Court? I can tell you right now they're not. Local laws here are governed by our governor and our mayors.
Okay.
I can tell you right now, Chicago.
Well, we're going to move on to
right?
I'll let you finish. Go ahead. Well, I'm going to let you finish, and then we're going to move to the next subject.
If you look at Illinois statute for policing, I can show you a million things that Chicago itself does different than the Illinois Supreme Court says that we can do. It's all about local levels. So I'm not saying you're wrong in certain red states, in these small towns that they probably know somebody and they can get a warrant. I'm telling you that doesn't happen here. And the difference is in states like mine that are affected by that, it matters. Those rules matter because they're so generalized that when it comes down to the local level, we do have a high crime rate. As opposed to a red state who they can have a phone call and call this judge in the middle of the night and he's going to sign a warrant for them. Because guess what? In those small towns, they give a shit about crime. In towns like mine why do you think that our crime rates are so ridiculous? Because at the local level, they don't give a crap. That was just kind of my only point.
Now let's go to Texas. Texas has reported 0 COVID deaths in 2 months after Biden slammed them for having Neanderthal thinking. How many other states are still reporting thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, COVID deaths? I have stopped paying attention to the COVID numbers. Do you guys know what it is?
All I know is California is leading the way per Gavin Newsom. We have the lowest rates in everything. Except homeless.
What about Chicago? I do not pay attention to COVID, man. I have no clue what the numbers are.
I stopped following the COVID stuff because I think it's all lies anyway. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that COVID is a lie. Okay. I'm not saying that COVID's a lie because I know people will be like, oh shit, that COVID is a lie. I'm not saying COVID is a lie. What I'm saying is I don't believe the numbers from day one anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they would be accurate, especially in corrupt cities.
Texas has had 0 COVID deaths. I wonder what they did besides opening up.
They're led by Republicans.
I don't see how people don't tune in and click in to when things don't make sense anymore. Texas has 0 COVID deaths. Everywhere else is reporting hundreds of deaths a day. Are we not catching on to the game now? You know, hospitals make bank off these deaths and even having to admit them.
Well, we all know they just changed the rules anyways. As soon as Biden was officially elected, they changed the testing for how the tests are done. And then magically, cases went down. No shit. And so now they're probably reporting proper deaths. And so, yeah, the 2 deaths 2 months after Biden, like 0. Guys, come on. Like, let's just stop playing this game. Let's move on. Like, stop wearing your masks, move on with your life, and actually just do it.
For real. I don't understand why people haven't gotten along with life yet. I really don't.
And we know what the answer to that is. It's programming and conditioning. It is gaslighting. So, for example, right here in California, the San Francisco Bay Area is huge. San Jose and San Francisco themselves they hold a lot of people, millions, right? When Gavin Newsom comes out and says that an area like San Francisco City and the surrounding areas have the lowest case rates in California, or San Jose's right behind them, but yet they are the 2 largest, populations in the area. And then you come to a county like mine that has a fraction of what they have. And they're saying that, hey, you guys are still doing the worst. And it's like, hold on. You start looking at the numbers and things don't make sense. And we can pull up my county data all day. And there's things that just, the way that they're reporting here, it's like a 0.008%. Like if that's your case rate, you're like in a purple status. It's super down, like low. But yet they will tell you that we are the lowest. And then for you to come out and put the article up a second ago saying that Texas has 0 COVID deaths. Well, I'm going to assume that their case rate's really low, but yet you still have Newsom preaching to everybody that California is doing the best. And to me, like, people got to wake up and start seeing how inconsistent these politicians are, how they're lying straight to your face.
Yeah.
And actually going to start looking at the data, because when I say California has just like, we beat everything except for homeless, because we have not reported like our flu deaths, our COVID, cancer deaths, like everything's dropped magically. So, I mean, somebody has to explain that, and they can't. But yet, you still got people that just they gaslighted them so much that they just believe anything. He could tell them tomorrow that 1 out of 3 people are going to die of COVID, and they're going to believe him. And then the next day, he'll say, "Well, we take that back, 1 out of 100," and they'll go, "Oh," and we just keep believing.
Welcome to America in 2021, where people just don't think anymore.
Hey, it's like
It's dangerous, man.
Like, you ever played that when you were a kid?
Yep.
That's what I feel like. They're like green light, red light, green light, red light, green light, red light,
Yellow.
yellow.
Forget Texas. I don't know if I believe you. I'm done with COVID. Can everybody else be done with it? Okay, throw your mask out. If you want to go get your shot, go get your shot. And people that don't want it, leave them alone. You're not saving lives. You got a shot and you don't know what's in it. And now people got magnets sticking to their vaccine sites. You got people getting blood clots, people dying. I'm straight. How about that? Now let's talk about BLM. I don't like talking about them, but they make it fun nowadays because, and it's funny how Fox News is reporting this. CNN won't touch this story. I wonder why. Co-founder, and welcome, Russo. I'm going to mute you for a second because all I hear is crickets and traffic.
And he makes fun of me wearing a sleeveless shirt the other day. You shut your mouth.
Wait, let's blow him up. Guns out, but the sun's not out. But don't. Co-founder, went and bought the co-founder. Her name is Patrice Cullors. She went and spent $3 million in real estate, ownership, and she's been catching heat for it. So since she's been catching heat for it, she decided to come out and say the real reason that she did it, and her spending this amount of money on homes in white neighborhoods disrupts white supremacy. And just like Chris said, red light, green light, yellow light. All the BLM supporters are like, oh, okay, that makes sense. This is going to disrupt white supremacy. So this is going to stop cops from shooting black men. It's going to stop the government, which is racist and gets only blacks. Help them understand how does this disrupt white supremacy?
Okay, so if you take it the other way around and kind of change it up, and then you can kind of, I don't know, to me it just kind of puts it how stupid it is, right? So if she were to come out, look at that face. If she were to come out and be like, hey, so how do you stop white supremacy? And then somebody's like, how? And then you're like, move one black person into a really rich neighborhood. That's how. So let me get your money. Like, that's how stupid it sounds. You put one person in a rich neighborhood, and that's how she's stopping it. But she also forgot the part that it's not the white supremacists. It's not the people. It's the institution, or it's systemic.
It's like crazy how we can make sense out of stupidity, but the stupid folks just eat it up. 1 + 1 didn't equal 2 here. She carried about 4, 5, 6 numbers and came to 2. I don't.
Core
pretty
math.
simple to me.
She was using core math.
I want to know what Massa has to say. What you got to say about this, Massa?
Well, yes. First off, I would like you to really quick kill the back 40 for me. Thank you very much, asshole. So I had a video of her on a talk show where it was like small budget talk show. They asked her about it, and first off, they were prepping her up for all the amazing work she did. And they're like, we got to ask, like, there's what are you using all the money for? And this is legit the head of this organization talking about what they're doing with $100 million. And she legit says, well, we've got a lot of really great things planned. Like we're thinking about like 3 million, like for this thought, so that we can have 100 people. She has no idea what they're doing with the money. And then they brought up the house purchase, and she legitimately on this show said, well, I'm breaking the whole ideology of white supremacy by taking my family. I have to take care of my family that is black. So so legit, she is essentially talking about misappropriation of funds and making sure her family comes out. So essentially for 3% of what Black Lives Matter has raised, she is taking one black family, her own, and putting themselves into a better place and a better establishment. And now, because she's getting so much flack, she's like, oh, this is ending white supremacy. It literally is the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my life.
Why did the white man just come in and mic drop? Black folks, you just got schooled, and I hope you learn. I'm so sick of race hustlers. Oh my goodness. How long are race hustlers going to get rich off of black people before black people are like, oh, damn.
Well, if you look at
rich
Russo,
as hell, and I'm still in the hood.
Look at Russo right now. He's black.
Bro, I'm shaded. Well,
I'm like, this woman I don't even remember her name, but
Russo.
so she took out her own family, but she moved them into a white neighborhood to take. But aren't they afraid of white people because of white supremacy and white power and the KKK? And don't they have more police according to their ideology in those neighborhoods? And aren't Black people, according to their ideology, terrified of the police? Hands up, don't shoot.
Oh man.
I'm just asking for a friend.
Hey, that's a good point because typically you got strength in numbers. Well, you just lost that because you're the only family in a white neighborhood.
Well, we are forgetting these are rich white people, so they're probably liberals. They're going to protect them.
He's right. He's right. You need 2 points tonight. You just
it don't help with the police rhetoric. The police are still going to hunt them down. Now it's going to be an easy target. You're going to be easy to identify.
Look, when they go walking out in these white neighborhoods, all the white people are going to racially profile them because America is inherently racist and so are white people. So it doesn't matter if you move in their neighborhoods. You can move in their neighborhoods all you want. Guess what? Still nigga. Didn't Jay-Z say it? They don't care if you light skin, dark skin, yellow skin, red. A racist does not care.
I can't say that word.
Still nigga. I said it.
Toonie, can I ask a question though? Because take away everything having to do with Black Lives Matter and go to their actual core ideology, which is Marxism and socialism. Doesn't this go take away everything having to do with black or white? Isn't this against everything that they talk about in terms of being a quote unquote trained Marxist and pro socialism? This goes against every. So on top of them being full of shit, they're also the epitome of hypocritical. It's like it is fuckery on 77 levels.
I have a question. What color was Karl Marx?
White. And what are black people doing? Mic drop.
White man.
I didn't mean to whitewash the conversation, guys, but I felt as though it had to be brought up.
Facts. Look, when you make
one mic drop in there because Russo's had like 2.
He's dropping them. But when you make too much sense, that's what black folks say. Oh, that's white people talk.
It's getting a little claustrophobic with Russo's head swelling by everybody telling him this.
Mic drops Russo. So I came across this video on Instagram and I laughed because Ricky Schroeder pretty much gave a Costco worker the biz. He was like, Costco did a nationwide. I wish I had my loud thing on here. A nationwide mandate where you don't have to wear a mask in here. Yeah, well, California, I'm gonna let you hear what this dude said. He gave him the business. And you know what happened? Cancel culture almost got him and he got scared. So he decided to apologize, but his apology was epic because he was like, yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. How badass is that?
Well, wasn't Ricky Schroeder also like one of the people that raised money for the kid in Wisconsin, Kyle? What's his name?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
He was one of the people that was like raising money for him.
Nice.
I started following Ricky Schroeder 3 days ago. The dude is hardcore conservative, which probably why he doesn't work in Hollywood anymore. But he goes hard. So if you can follow Ricky Schroeder,
he does. That's how I started seeing that he was like kind of out there a little bit. He was outspoken because he was. They started raising a lot of money for the guy in Wisconsin.
Bro, this is funny. Look, liberals are falling apart, but when I watched this, I was crying. Everybody mute, do me a favor.
What's your name?
My name is Jason.
And what do you do here?
I'm a supervisor, front-end supervisor.
And why aren't you letting me in?
Because in the state of California, in the county of Los Angeles, there has been and Costco, there's been no change to our mask policy. Not in the state of California or in the county of Los Angeles.
Didn't you see the news? You didn't see the news. Nationwide Costco that said you don't need to wear a mask.
Actually, that's not accurate.
What is accurate?
So what is accurate is that Costco always goes above and beyond when following the law. And the mandate in California has not changed. There does seem to be the possibility that in June, by mid-June, that's a date that California, I know,
If they allow us, if they grant us that, our kings, the people in power, you're going to listen to these people?
Well, I know
they've destroyed our economy.
Well,
they're
sir,
destroying
they're
our
evaluating.
culture. They're destroying our state.
I see.
And you're just going to listen to their rules.
Well, what we are going to do is simply follow the guidelines.
Okay. I'm getting my refund. I'm getting my refund from Costco. I suggest everybody in California get their refund from Costco. Give up your membership to Costco until they remove this.
Okay, well, this hasn't changed in any building in California, in any company that I'm aware of. The places I shop still require masks. But that's not the point. The point is Costco is simply abiding by the law, and that's the law.
Can somebody tell me what effing law says that you are required to wear a mask? Anybody? Can anybody point me in the direction of a law?
He's confused with our state mandate, which is also, I guess, our law.
Oh.
Which is
This guy's a tool.
And
I'm gonna actually go with the tool on this one. Not gonna lie. I think the tool is right, even though I love Ricky Schroeder's passion. The tool is right because the state supersedes the store. It's a gray area legally. I think he's right though.
No.
You want to know what I'm about to say right now?
The state does not supersede the store.
Hold on.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Right, but go ahead.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your...
First off, Douchey Pants is clearly on the side of California's law because he's afraid of dying because a mask that has no actual purpose.
Well, sure, he probably goes home at night and sleeps with Gavin Newsom. That's okay.
But
the store makes the decision.
I'm saying based on, I'm curious to see in California, like, it's also a public entity. I think there's a lot to it, but I've often wondered in these cases, in a store that is opened up back where they don't need, like Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is very similar. What is the law? Like, what does the state law break? Because the whole time people wanted. Think of it like this. There were restaurants all along that wanted to allow consumers in their place of business, but the state law of minimum like 20%, whatever. I think actually the state law supersedes it. It has been superseding it for the last 12 months.
No,
it has, and part of the reason why they got so much power, the state, it was specifically the state of California got so much power, is because they were going out and telling people that if they don't abide by the mandate, that they're going to shut down their business. They're going to pull their liquor license. They're going to pull this, pull that. They're going to do all this stuff. Now, if they can really do that, if it's legal, that I don't know about that because I've never looked into it. But they put that out there, and that was put out even down to our city level, that if they don't abide by it, the city's going to pull their business license. And people don't want to challenge it. They were already hurting and losing money. So a lot of people just went with it. I know there was a few people specifically in my city, and my buddy owns a gym here, and about halfway through, he said, no more. You can go ahead and pull it. You can do what you want. And the crazy thing was, nothing happened. When they sent the police officers of our city to go down and shut his business down, they went out and worked out. And then they called the fire department, and they worked out too. So now I don't know what they can really do. I really think it comes down to the city level, because the city has to push that.
The county technically gives you your business license, not the city. But yes, you are correct. Here's where a lot of it comes in. For example, if anybody really wants to look into this, go and look up Ian Smith's gym in New Jersey, and then go and look up, his first name is Aaron, but he runs Platinum Fitness in Florida. Go look at those gyms and what they did for the last year. They didn't close down, and they took on the state, and they said, fuck you, I'm going to stay open. and nothing is coming of it. Now, Ian Smith is being threatened with hundreds of thousands of dollars of fines. However, none of that is coming to fruition, and Ian Smith is winning right now.
I get it, but that's a huge process. I'm not a mask wearing human being, and I hate when people tell me to wear anything having to do with the mask. But at the end of the day, if the manager of this store is this Costco is like, you know, Gavin Newsom's BFF and loves everything going on liberal, the store's manager, I mean, there's so many gray areas. I just think at that point I would just be like, here's my mask, slap it on my face, take it off when I walk in. I don't know. The guy's a putz. I don't know.
Here's my thing. So now the government is overstepping once again, and the American people are allowing it. Costco Corporation, Costco said nationwide, no mask. And the stores decide, I'm going to disregard what corporate said and listen to the government.
Yeah.
Well, like here, they started saying like you only need it if you like, you can not have it if you had like medical reasons, etc. And then it went to no, you got to have it at all times. Like our mayor at a city level literally created a unit to go and screw with businesses who went against the grain. And I'm talking about like no liquor license, no food license, like get the health department involved, all these other people to shut your ass down. Like she is reckless, literally reckless.
But she can have affairs. That's okay.
Yes,
thing
she can.
The thing is, if we look at other things, for example, yeah, Costco as an organization statewide, you don't take it up with a $10 an hour employee standing at the door.
Why not?
Do you fight with a police officer in the street?
That's not the same thing.
It is the exact same thing.
Ooh,
because you just take it to the place to where it can be changed. The courts is where you handle anything with anything legal and with law enforcement, and you would take it up with corporate if you have any issues, right? It is their statute. Now, he's just a peon at that store. So ask for the manager and see if the manager will let him in.
That's
Oops, sorry.
No, that's what I would say too. I want to go back real quick onto because I was late on the show when you guys were talking about Texas not having 0 deaths. So I want to bring up something. This is logically thinking, and I was going to talk about this later when I went on, but so as I continue to do research on masks, and if you think of the linear path of people getting COVID and then the seriousness of the deaths and the death toll and all that, the more we wore masks as a society, the higher the death percentage and the higher the fatality rate was for the disease. Went from 99.9% down to 99.5%, and in some areas 98.5%. So you look at what masks do. So there is 0 evidence, and people don't understand this. There is 0 scientific evidence that says the size of the virus particle, and I've said this before, the size of the virus particle will actually be blocked by any mask. It's actually smaller. The only thing that's ever been proven to us is the cartoon images where like you wear a mask and the particulates go up and down like, oh, look, it's being safe, which has nothing to do with viruses. It's got to do with water droplets, which is utter and complete bullshit. It's got nothing to do with the virus. So then you start looking at Texas that now has come to a number where we have 0 deaths. And it's not because we don't have COVID in the state. We still have a lot of people with COVID. But when the masks are being worn, and the friend of mine that passed away from COVID last June was an avid mask wearer. And remember, when we started this, masks were not a mandate until somewhere around July and August, again, when the fatality rate started spiking. The mask is actually keeping us. So once you get sick with COVID, you're not going to be able to fight it because you're covering yourself up with a mask for 3 or 4 days thinking that you're not sick, realizing that all that is just being regenerated. This is basic logic being regenerated in your system. So now Texas does away with the mask mandates. People are out in public. They're getting fresh air. And you know what? People are still getting COVID. They might not even know because they're barely getting sick. And all of a sudden, boom, we're now 2 months away from when the mask mandates drop and we have 0 fatalities in one day. I'm sure we might have 1 tomorrow, 10 tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Our numbers are lower because we've taken off the mask. So if you want to wear a mask, Cool. Science is not on your side, no matter if you've got the V word or not. That was my statement that you guys when I was working out when you guys were talking about it. Had to say that. Sorry.
Makes sense.
100%. That's why I haven't got it, and I keep not wearing a goddamn mask.
Facts. I wear a mask for 10 minutes at the school, and as soon as my kids walk out, I make a scene every day after school, and I'm like, take your mask off and breathe air. And everybody there looks at me like I'm psycho.
I have to wear my mask.
Why?
At work.
Because his governor says so.
Because your face is too ugly.
Oh.
JK.
Wow.
You're racist, Russo. Russo is racist.
Hey, what size guns were those?
Too small. So
Airsoft.
You know why? You know that why they make you wear a mask at work is because right now they can actually, if you're wearing a mask, they can't tell your ethnicity, so they just check you down as black, so that therefore they have a higher number of black employees. So it actually fulfills more of their quota.
They see this right here, and they're like,
just saying.
Hey,
oh my
you know
god.
what?
I love having you guys on the show. We're not gonna watch all of this.
She's funny as shit.
No, this is an amazing video. This is a good video.
I watched a little bit of it, and I want to slap whoever raised this girl.
She needs to be punched in the face, and the best part is the last 2 minutes of it.
Oh, she's funny. Come on.
Funny?
Am I thinking of the right one? Is this the girl that makes liberals look like idiots?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she reminds me of Tyler G.
Oh, man.
Tyler didn't like me.
Tyler doesn't like himself.
Sure, breaking into the Capitol in general is a lot worse than just burning a building down.
Okay, I'm gonna proceed.
So breaking some windows of a federal government building is worse than lighting someone's business on fire.
Yes.
The first day that this started, the first riot that this happened, they burnt down a police precinct.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it was for good reason.
Do you agree with any of those things?
I could see the first one, be less oppressive, because some people definitely are.
How, as white people?
Yes.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop fucking lying.
Guys, they don't really believe this stuff that they're saying. Okay?
Well,
she's at a nice beach with a bunch of white people. I'm sure she's got white friends. Are any of those white people there oppressing her?
No, but that guy just behind what's her name? Caitlin Bennett. Is her group. So that group that you see the people just behind him, that's her group. And so if you watch at the end of the video, she's flipping everybody off, flipping Caitlin off and walking away, all and her friends are clapping at the end of the video. And it's like, you had no basis of anything you said.
Good God.
But, okay. Maybe not you specifically, but I just feel like some white people in general, they are definitely still oppressive, yes.
How do they do that?
For instance, the Black Lives Matter movement recently, that is definitely a big thing. So...
What?
Well, they're the ones that are burning and looting. White people, there wasn't White Lives Matter doing the burning, the murdering, and the looting.
No, that's where you lose me. That's where you lose me.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I did know that. But
you did know about the burning, the looting, and the murdering.
But the same exact thing happened at the Capitol, which was an even worse offense.
Where was the burning and the looting going on in the murdering?
All down the, yes.
Can you pull that? I showed you evidence for what I'm talking about. Can you show the burning and the looting and the murdering at the Capitol?
I'm pretty sure breaking into the Capitol in general is a lot worse than just burning a building down.
So breaking some windows of a federal government building is worse than lighting someone's business on fire?
Yes, significantly.
Can you break that down for me?
Yes. Okay, if you're burning down a business, yes, I understand it. There was no need for it, but it's a Capitol building. There is federal papers, things that basic people should not know about, and they just let them walk in. Where were the troops and the National Guard when people were breaking into the federal building? But
Nancy Pelosi told them not to come.
Then why did they have to go for the Black Lives Matter movement?
Well, okay, so there's
prior
things,
to the things getting burned down, there was no need for them to be at the Black Lives Matter movement.
Why not? They were burning businesses down,
But
and they were killing people.
before they started burning things down, and before people started getting killed, the National Guard was there, and they were just shutting people down for what? There was peaceful protests, and they were instantly there.
You just admitted that before people started being murdered, businesses started being burned down, and they were looting things. There was no National Guard. That's why the National Guard
was there.
Well,
the
maybe there have been other Black Lives Matter riots where it's turned that way. Ferguson, for example, there was a precedent set. That's why they were there.
Yep. Okay.
The first day that this started, the first riot that this happened, they burnt down a police precinct.
I'm sure it was for good reason. No offense to you.
So you know that there's documents in there that people don't need to get access to, just like you said for the January 6th. So why was that okay? Why was that a good reason, but January 6th wasn't? That's still a government building.
Because they knew that if they burned down that building, they all would have gotten arrested. Versus if you burn down a police precinct, a couple of people are going to get arrested, but that's about it.
Okay, well, the Capitol wasn't burnt down.
It could have been.
Okay, but it wasn't. But we know that actual apartment buildings and businesses that people were relying on to survive and make a living are gone forever.
I think they made it work, and they definitely got some insurance money and can start from the bottom up, and people are definitely still supporting them.
Well, the Capitol, we have taxpayer dollars that pay for that. What's the difference?
A big difference. People start from the bottom with their businesses, and yes, other people in their community will help them. The Capitol is run by everybody. People are all around the world are putting their money into that. So why?
It's already fixed. The windows are already fixed.
And so where's the government?
Are you going to help? Are you going to help all of the people who had their businesses destroyed and
if
burned
I could,
down?
I would. Yes.
There are multiple GoFundMe's. Have you contributed to those?
Actually, yes.
How much?
That is actually none of your business.
You didn't do it.
But I did. My money is my money, and what I do with it is not your problem.
I don't think you. I think you're lying. Because
Really,
you just said that
really
they
great.
had insurance.
Really great
How can you look
but
at
I'm
someone
done
in
with
the
this
face
conversation.
and say, your business being burned down and your livelihood being destroyed, you lost your business, you're making no income. Insurance takes years to go through sometimes. Regardless, it's not right. How can you
exactly. None of it's right, but that doesn't mean that just because Black people are doing it, it should be 100 times more violent.
No one mentioned. Why is it 100 times more violent when Black
I don't
people
know.
are
You tell
doing
me.
it?
You tell me. I
I'm
could not
asking.
tell you. I could not tell you.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Years of oppression that just will never go away.
So that makes Black people burn down AutoZone?
I didn't say that.
Years of oppression? What does years of oppression have to do with burning down some innocent person's business?
The fact that innocent people are getting murdered.
Who?
George Floyd, for example.
I can't watch no more. I'm sorry. That was a party foul.
Oh, just wait. Like, if you were to hear that out.
We're already this far. Keep it rolling.
She said George Floyd.
Innocent people getting murdered. How do you know George Floyd was murdered?
There's a video. Did I miss something?
I think you did. Did you miss the autopsy report?
Okay, so a little bit of weed is going to kill you?
It wasn't weed.
So what was it?
He had so much fentanyl in his system, laced with stuff. Yes, he did.
No.
So I still like.
It's an ad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't. I still remember getting that autopsy. If we're going back to George Floyd, and I don't know how that all of a sudden changed during the trial. Like it meant nothing to do with his death. I was super confused by that too. I thought that was odd because we talked about that in July of last year when that came out, and then once it got to the trial, it was like somehow that was altered to have zero effect on his death, and I was super confused. Granted, again, Chauvin got he needed to get something, but.
Well, did you guys see the officer? I think his name is the Asian gentleman.
Yeah, that dude.
Did you see the stuff his attorneys just dropped? The suits they just filed.
No.
It's exactly about the autopsy, how it went from this is what it is, and then changed during the trial. They actually have a recorded conversation of someone pressing on the medical examiner to change and add words, or else they would never go through further in a career. That came out, I believe, last week.
Oh.
So shit is about to get ugly.
Yeah, it is.
Just wait until they have a retrial.
Oh, they're gonna have a retrial. Did you see the guy with the BLM shirt at a protest? Part of the jury.
Sorry. I didn't realize the sound wasn't on.
Yeah, she just walks away and flips her off, and then you see her friends in the background all clapping. Oh, you're so smart. You grilled her.
Where's
How
wait?
do
Where's
you know George Floyd was murdered?
There's a video. Did I miss something?
I think you did. Did you miss the autopsy report?
Okay, so a little bit of weed is gonna kill you.
It wasn't weed.
So what was it?
He had so much fentanyl in his system, laced with stuff. Yes, he did.
No. Okay, I'm done with this conversation. Thank you for your time.
I would be done too. You're so embarrassing. Oh my God, then flip me off. All right. So that interaction, we probably won't be able to upload the full footage because I'll say things in there that will be fact checked, and I know that I'm right. Go to libertyhangout.tv to watch the full uncensored version of that interaction. You will not want to miss it. These are the people justifying your business being burned down.
And they're ridiculous millennials that have no life experience or responsibility for anything besides doing their hair, wiping their ass, working a minimum wage job. And they're in school.
I don't know, but she didn't look very oppressed to me on the beach with a thong.
What's
With
the matter
her
with
white
Caitlyn
friends.
Bennett? Why do we not like her?
Who?
Ooh,
The girl, the interviewer.
we do like her.
Who
Oh,
said we don't like her?
I thought that's what you guys. I was like, I really like her, and you're like, oh, I want to kick her in the face. I was like, why? She's fun.
No, the black girl.
Hey,
I didn't know what you meant. I thought you meant
I
her.
can't
This
say
girl does
black.
videos like this all the time. She is tough.
I'm with Russo. I kind of thought that's what you said too. I was a little confused.
Thank
but
you.
okay. So we're all on the same page.
Yes, the black
Yes.
girl. I wanted to make her teeth click several times throughout this video.
Got it.
That was a video I absolutely enjoyed watching this weekend when it was released. I was like, this is proving everything that what we're doing and talking about is accurate.
I'm oppressed.
You want to know why you see that? And I'll tell you this. So old people still watch CNN, and when I talk old, I'm talking like my grandma, like 60s, 70s, right? Like, and let's say just later 70s. They're still watching the news, and they believe it like it's the word of God. And these young kids, they're watching TikTok and social media.
Yep.
So that's why they're stuck, because they're in their little echo chamber. So earlier you said she really can't believe that. You were talking about the black girl, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to tell you, I used to think the same thing, and I've had some conversation with people, and I got a couple friends. They're smart. They got their college degrees, but they also got some street life behind them. They're very smart dudes, but the gaslighting is real. Because at first I was like, man, you really can't believe that. Like you're serious? Like you're mixed. Like we grew up in the same area. You really think this shit's real? And I'm telling you, I think maybe at first they didn't believe it. They went with it, but they believe it. They hit a certain point where that is reality to them because of what they've been fed. And once you buy into something like that, you got to rewire yourself. And it's very hard for people. That's a pride thing. We know that it's very hard for people to put down their pride and to admit that, hey, I was wrong or I didn't see that right. And that's why you see these people continuing to fight it as hard as they do and saying the stuff like, oh, he smoked a little bit of weed, knowing damn well if she's seen it, it was more than a little bit of weed. But she didn't look past that. She just got her little clip of news and went with it.
Yeah, I had my sister on and we had this conversation. She's like, what's on Twitter? And I was like, okay, let's remove Twitter. Tell me how many trans people are killed per year. She said, oh, hundreds. So I went to the Human Rights Campaign and I said 44 people were killed last year. And she got silent because Twitter is her world, like you said. So absolutely, they can believe this stuff, but I'm not willing to let them stay there. If I got to get on here and make fun of you for a little bit, and I did it to my sister, if I would do it to my sister, I would do it to anybody on the street just for her to wake up because she literally said hundreds and it's 44. And they just started tracking it in the year 2020, by the way. She'll be all right. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe one day she'll turn on this video and be like, damn, I look stupid. Maybe she won't, but let's hope she does. How many of you predicted alien invasion in 2020 or 2021? I know I did. No. I'm like, that's the final frontier. That's the last thing they're gonna do to mind fuck Americans. And guess what? The Navy has decided we're gonna start leaking videos from 2 years ago that we've had. Pentagon has confirmed all of this, by the way. This is the second video that's dropped. The second.
You remember what I said, Suni, right?
What?
One of the first times Jen Psaki at Toomey got up there and talked about like just slamming all of Trump's policies and saying why Biden is replacing everything. The one thing that she said that Trump did well, she's like, well, you know, Biden is very happy with the Space Force and that setup. I'm like, the Space Force, the one to me that was the most ridiculous thing in his presidency is the one thing Biden was cool with. Like, there's got to be something that either they're planning behind this or there is something to it. And if anybody remembers, it was September of last year, somebody in the Israeli army came out and he's like 70 years old. And he was like, we've been talking to aliens for 20 years. And everybody in his community was like, and he was the like highest respected person in that field. And they're like, we don't know him anymore. He's out. So I've been saying this since right around that time. I'm like, something is up. Something is being planned. So anyways.
Uh-oh. Well, let's see. This is supposedly a UFO that a Navy ship caught.
Allegedly shows one of the U.S. Navy's stealth ships tracking an unknown object in the sky. And after a few minutes,
splashed. Mark bearing and range.
The 2019 footage obtained by filmmaker Jeremy Corbell, who last month released another video of an upside-down pyramid UFO hovering above a Navy destroyer.
This is part of a much larger series of events that we're going to be learning about.
The Pentagon confirming the video was taken by Navy personnel. The image is now being reviewed by a government task force set to brief Congress next month on what they call unidentified aerial phenomenon. This weekend, 60 Minutes speaking to fighter pilots who reported seeing unidentified flying objects.
Every day for at least a couple of years.
Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence Chris Mellon says sensor technology has improved dramatically over the year. Commander also told CBS she struggled with after she and 3 others saw a 40-foot flying object disappear in 2004.
You know, I think that over beers, we've sort of said, hey, man, if I saw this solo, I don't know that I would have come back and said anything because it sounds so crazy when I say it.
What do you guys think? Everybody knows my stance on aliens. I don't buy it.
Well, I'm like first of all, you got to think about who Chris Mellon is. He was the former Secretary of Defense under Clinton. And then George Bush. Sorry, I had to think about it for a minute. But so I'm like, do I trust anybody that worked for them? No.
Gonna have to agree with you there. I don't like how highly publicized this is being. The media is all over this, and they're not twisting it and turning it. Every media outlet is reporting it the same. I don't know. I don't buy it, man. I know what the Bible said lights in the sky are, and he referred to them as demons, and that's what I think they are.
So you're saying that aliens are not real?
I think they're demons. I don't think they're intelligent beings.
Huh. So, who built the pyramids?
I wasn't here for that, so I can't tell you.
See all those hieroglyphs, alien ships? Come on, they've been here. They've been here for hundreds and thousands of years. See, I told you it was all leading down to this moment. This was all pre-planned. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we had this discussion behind backstage. Hey, Sunni's about to lose it. Hey, so God took Adam out of this world up into the heavens, took a rib out, built woman. God was an alien, Sunni. He took them to outer space, recreated them, and then put them back on Earth. And all I asked you guys to do was take me serious for once. And you guys are laughing at me again.
It's because you're Mexican.
Hey, Kelly, Mexicans got on boots.
Mexicans got on boots.
Mexicans got on boots.
Bro.
Hey, Suni, this is why people don't like coming up on your show, because you laugh at them when they're trying to be serious.
Okay.
So wrong.
I can't do it.
No, I'll tell you right now. I believe more in chupacabra than the shit you're telling right now.
Hey, excuse you. The chupacabra is very real. Ask any Puerto Rican in Puerto Rico. Okay, it is very real.
Oh man.
Hey, if that could be real, why can't aliens be real?
They are.
If ghosts and demons are real, why can't aliens be
immigrants.
real? I'm not letting this go.
Look at
Aliens are
Russo,
real.
bro.
They're called immigrants. Illegals. That's what they're called.
What's up, Russo?
Oh, we weren't talking about those aliens. We were talking about Salvadorian type aliens.
Guatemalan.
Guatemalan. Y'all let me ramble on about outer space aliens this whole time. And we were talking about they're all illegal. Even outer space aliens, they're not supposed to be here.
Biden said they could all come in.
Oh, you're right.
Why do you think this is happening?
Oh man.
They probably got t-shirts too with his name on it.
I didn't do this, man. I didn't do this. Russo.
Is it weird if I kind of believe in aliens?
No, because I do. Y'all think I'm playing. We could be from like Kepler B or something.
I don't know. I don't know if they want to like take over or I don't rule out anything I can't confirm, and there's a lot up there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
But you're saying up there, why not down there?
They
Earth
did.
is floating.
They brought it down here, the pyramids and everything.
I like the whole thought process of like there's stuff like deep in the ground. I don't know, like the damn movies. Who knows? I just know there's some very unexplainable stuff, whether it's God, whether it's miracles, whether it's also weird shit flying in the sky. I don't know.
The thing I'm excited for is I'm going to put a milk crate on the front of my bike and I'm going to have an alien in it and I can fly through the sky.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like my cousin.
I just thought of that, Russo. He beat me to it though.
E.T. phone home.
Casey said he's going to put an alien in the front of his cart with a box of strawberries. Driving around town.
No,
What? Okay.
he needs Reese's Pieces.
What makes what makes you think there's life outside of humans? Like honestly, we not just humans, but I'm talking about like outside of this realm that we live in. Now, I definitely believe in the supernatural. I have seen too much shit for that not to be real. I believe in the supernatural, but intelligence from other planets, all this stuff. What makes you think it's real?
In the Bible talks about the Nephilim. It talks about angels and things coming down from the sky, other beings coming down from the sky and impregnating the daughters of men. Why can't that be a realistic thing? If God is all powerful, he is everything. If God is possible, why can't anything else be possible? I mean, and that's something where they'll tell you, oh, anything's possible but God. But for those of us that believe, if God is possible, why can't other life exist? Why are we the only place out here? So 50-50 joking earlier, mostly joking about what I said, but why can't we be the only ones? And if there is another planet, why does that other planet that has life on it have to be evil? Because if you look, there's a lot of things the Bible says that are not explained. They're just kind of left there for you to ponder. So beings have come down from the skies. So if you're going to say beings have come down from another dimension or ascended from heaven, if heaven's not a real thing up there and it's another realm, then I don't doubt anything. It could all be possible.
Well,
what if it's quantum? Sorry, go ahead.
In Genesis, he said, "Let us make man in our own image." He didn't say little beams and Orbeez and other creatures. He said in our own image, meaning we are a replica of what God represents.
Yeah. Why can't?
Who's saying that it's a lot like that? I don't know if you ever seen the movie Interstellar, but like, what if there, like, in terms of quantum physics, there is a lot of concepts that put us in other places in the universe. So who's to say that these aren't other variations of our? And again, I am not saying I can confirm any of this. I am literally, my dog loves to eat shit. If you can hear that little squeaking, sorry. Who's to say that there isn't alternative universes that are similar? And I'm not saying I think there is. I'm saying I cannot rule anything out that I don't know, that I can't 100% confirm. And there's way too much space. How did we end up talking about aliens? There's way too much space.
UFOs.
For like, it's one of those ones where somebody goes to me like, this is what I believe because of this. There's a lot of space. If I think it would be ignorant, I that too. I think it would be ignorant for me to just go be like, bro, you're out of your mind, because I have no evidence that can.
So, okay. So right. if that's the case, and we're talking about fallen angels, then you're telling me that our government has been directly speaking to demonic forces. I'm just being honest. And then you know what? That would explain why we got all this evil going on. And
Sunni, it's possible. Yes, it's possible that they could be talking to demonic or evil, right? But at the same time, you said it yourself. We were made Adam was created in our image, or in the image of God, in those that were like God, right? So I think, and this goes back to that, we were painted a picture of what aliens were supposed to look like. With Roswell and all the other crazy stuff, they want you to believe that aliens, and I'm not saying that I 100% believe this, but I'm saying I think there's a possibility. They painted a picture of a green man with little antennas, or the grays or the lizards. If God made us in his image, and if God is that powerful and that possible, then there are other beings that may look similar to us up there. And the Bible talks about things coming from up there to down here. So you have two options in that. They either coming from another realm, like Russo was talking about, or they're coming from somewhere else in this crazy universe. Why can't that be possible? And why do they?
I just chalk it up to the supernatural. That's it. I think it's the supernatural. I have had my own experience where I've seen a hooded figure, and a lot of people talk about this experience, in a corner. You can feel the energy in the room shift. I've had sleep paralysis where it feels like something is directly on my chest. I'm not saying that this stuff doesn't exist. I'm simply saying our government, our media is politicizing this way too much for me to trust it. I think that these aliens and all these things that they're talking about, I think it represents the supernatural realm. I don't think it's some other being from another planet deciding to come here and visit Earthlings.
Can we agree on this? I think that when the media does stuff like this, that they're taking our attention off of one thing because something else is going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a very that's something that most of us agree on.
Yeah.
At the same time, I mean, watch some of those videos. Not gonna lie, but don't ruin my chances, because I was trying to go like up to space and do like space surfing and stuff.
One of my suggestions, I would love to see this happen amongst us five and others. We can add more to the group if we want, amongst our crew.
Yeah.
If we should all read the Book of Enoch. I've already read it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And then have this conversation again.
Look, all you got to do is watch God in a Nutshell. 3 hours.
Yeah, but you read Book of Enoch, it goes into more detail than that
Let's
documentary.
I'm down.
I'm just curious on what that would change in people's mindset and thought process with this, because there's a lot of stuff in that book. I still struggle with this topic. I will tell you, to be very honest. Like I'm gonna laugh and make jokes about it because I think it's fun. But the big thing that I think about it is, what do I need to focus on making things better? And I don't think this is valuable for any of us. I think it's a fun topic to talk about. Absolutely. I want to focus on how I'm going to provide a better community and country for my kids and their peers when I'm gone. And so that's what I focus on. I used to be big into those things, but the Book of Enoch is very big on this topic. And I'm curious if it would change people's perspectives. It gave me a lot of insight that I didn't know before. I read it. Now, honestly, it's been 5 years since I read it, so I got to read it again. But it would be hilarious to read it and then have this conversation again and see if anybody changes their mind.
Hey, look, I ain't going with nobody whose name ain't Jesus. All right. So all the aliens, whoever else wants to come and show their face, the Antichrist, oh, I'm the Messiah. Nope. Until I see Jesus, this is where I will be until the Lord decides to take life from my body.
What if it's a Latino alien named Jesus?
Nope.
Okay.
No, that's Chupacabra.
No, if Jesus pulls up in a flying 64 Impala, I'm definitely riding.
With spokes, you mean? You mean with spokes?
With 100 spokes, 10-inch rims, and I'm picking Charlie up and Ricky.
Period.
We're getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I want to see Jupiter. I'll see y'all when y'all get back. If you come back. If you don't, I'm gonna be like, damn, what happened to Charlie and Chris?
We rode that bitch till the wheels fell off.
Mm-hmm. Take north side to a whole new meaning.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, look, you're right. I am not experimental at all. That's one thing you will learn about me. I like my feet on the ground. You're never gonna catch me jumping out of an airplane. You're never gonna catch me jumping off a shit, bungee jumping. Nope. I'm either walking, and I may or may not take a flight. And the whole time I'm in the air, I'm praying. And as soon as we hit the ground, I do this. Thank you.
So
I don't play with stuff like that. Nope.
We just heard Suni say she's not a crazy ass white person.
Nope. That's why we got white folks do this.
I've been skydiving. I'll go again.
So what I heard is my life's boring. My life's boring.
No.
I pray when I'm on the flight. I kiss the ground. My life's boring.
My feet are on the ground.
Chris, you know what else I heard? I heard strictly missionary. That's what I heard.
Hey, Russo, look at the private chat. Look at the private chat.
See, I'm not a thought, so I'm not gonna say what I do in my bedroom.
We were on the same page, Russo.
See, I've been married 10 years.
You guys all need to go talk to Jesus, is what that's saying.
I've never had my husband go experiment and go do anything with anybody else.
I might call out to Jesus and God. Just saying.
You want to jump out of airplanes? Go right ahead. Go get your thrill. You want to hang off of cliffs, and one day you're gonna be that statistic where you get fucked up, and I'm still gonna be here like, damn.
Don't you speak that on me.
Adrenaline got you.
Hey, I never said I was going to jump out of a perfectly good plane. That's just crazy.
Oh no, I've done it. I have too. It's fun.
Yeah. The scariest part of skydiving is not jumping out of the plane. It's watching the plane go up and looking at the altimeter or whatever it's called on your watch, and it's showing like 8,000 feet and you're going up to 12,000. You look and you're already super high. And then the video that they show you beforehand that they're required to, where they're like, just so you all know, the activity you're about to perform can cause severe dismemberment or even death. I hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you. That's all you got to tell me.
That's the scariest part.
That's all you got to tell me. And I'm okay. You can land the plane and I will get out when it's on the ground.
Hey, maybe one day I might do it.
I would love to do it, but I hate heights. I would love to do it, but I hate heights. So I'm going to figure out one day.
Closure. What if we put a blindfold on you?
One day I have to do it.
And we just push your ass out the plane.
Casey, we'll do it sometime.
You put a 454 in a lawnmower and you drive it 500 miles an hour down the road. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
What the?
That's me.
What?
I did some white people shit. Don't worry about it. I'm lost too.
I feel like you just talked about going to a Klan rally. I don't even know what that was.
Right? That's what it sounded like. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
No. Casey, I'm definitely afraid of heights.
Do you got a handkerchief in your back pocket, Casey?
Let me ask all of you something.
I don't even have back pockets.
Do you guys like snorkeling?
Where do you get your jeans at?
Yes.
Okay. In a setting by yourself, no tour, no nothing, just you in the ocean.
Yeah.
By
Lakes.
myself?
I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, no.
Oceans kind of scare me a little bit.
Yeah, no.
You jump out of a plane, but oceans scare you?
Oh,
I watched Jaws growing up, bro. Like all I think of is getting killed by a shark.
So I think you'd have to know something about like the ocean. Like you'd have to know where you can dive and where you can't dive. Because even when they take you on tours, they take you to specific places where you can and cannot. Because I'm not trying to like go out there and get eaten up and shit. Like I'm a thick ass girl.
Why? It's pretty.
It is beautiful.
So what I heard
snorkel
from
in
Jelly
it,
was you can go with me skydiving or scuba diving because they'll eat me first. So I'm gonna go with you. I know I'm gonna be all right because I ain't that thick.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm just shocked that I ever heard those words come out of Shelly's mouth saying someplace she wanted to go out and do something and not get eaten.
You're right. You're right. He's right.
Oh Jesus!
I got a really good show. And
I'm
I'm not
surprised.
gonna lie, Casey, you're right. I think we do need Jesus.
I think
Or Jesus.
Jesus is just confused. That's all it is.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna be on later, so I will. I'll catch y'all. Thank you for your patience. Sorry I didn't have sleeves on this show. I was doing my best Casey impression with a little bit more definition.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
You're too
Bruce,
white.
Hey, put those
I'm gonna
airsoft
send
guns
you
away.
out with the bang.
Put the airsoft guns away.
What's the bang? I'm waiting for the bang.
That was it. There is no bang in airsoft.
Chris is on a roll.
No, hey, that's what he got. That's what he gets for earlier for talking about me. That was me. You hurt my feelings a little bit. It's all right. Later. Suni and Casey ain't out of you guys laughed at me when I was talking about Genesis and stuff. Hey, but the UFO stuff, like I think you showed that video earlier. Hey, some of that shit's weird. Like that little flying orb, like doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's weird? Jellyfish in the ocean. They don't have no predators. That's weird.
You know what's weird too? Damn sea urchins, and they attack you. Last time I was in Mexico, they tore me up. You hate to see it.
What?
Remember, I told you I got tore up by a damn sea urchin.
No, did you? Who was talking?
John Tisha in the background.
John Tisha's in the room. She's sitting off to the side.
over here in the corner.
He said, "Lord Jesus, there's a fire."
Shirley, you cannot pee on just a sea urchin. That's a jellyfish, not a sea urchin. Because even if you pee on it, it's not going to take all those spikes out. Trust me, I've been taking spikes out even as far as a week ago.
Are we talking about peeing on the sea urchin itself or peeing on your foot? Because
No,
those are both kind of weird.
They're talking about peeing on a sea urchin, but it's not a sea urchin. You're supposed to pee on a jellyfish thing.
Bruh, we went from UFOs to the ocean to jellyfish to sea urchin.
They're all fucking weird. So
Getting peed on.
Yeah, no. That's some R. Kelly shit.
You asked Bill Gates. You asked for
What is she doing? Are you dancing over there?
Oh
I was.
bro.
You asked Al Gore. We don't have an ocean anyways. So it's all over.
Hey.
Listen.
Listen on feet.
UFOs are from the supernatural realm. I think America has taken the Bible and done this and then jumbled it and threw it back into the minds of Americans to make them like feel like they've how do you say it, discovered something great. Like, I don't know. I think God was pretty simple. I made man in my image, and then we pulled a woman from a man. People make children, and we have a supernatural realm that not everybody is, privy to see, but it's there. I'm not sold on it.
You remember that dude from Ancient Aliens? The one that's always got his hair like, and he's like, aliens.
You mean hair like you got right now?
That's why he did it.
Ew, man. Ew, bro.
That's called the golden shower. Yeah, that's R. Kelly shit. That ain't my shit.
No, seriously.
I want to gag.
Or Biden shit. One of the two.
Ooh,
well,
that's
you guys know what Clinton did. What Monica Lewinsky and the cigar.
Oh.
We just keep drifting farther and farther away from UFOs.
Yeah. Listen.
Look at my waist. This is unedited. Look at my face. Bet you wanna look like me. Look at my wrist. I'm not trying to flex, but look at my whip. Better get your check